Yeah. In first year or in second year, you might have learnt some programming languages, right? Like maybe Python, Java, or C. Like this, some programming languages you might have learnt. In every programming language, it is quite often we will be seeing that syntax. What is meant by syntax? Syntax is nothing but the format which we have to follow in order to use one construct, isn't it? That is syntax. Like you consider if statement. Let us consider Python only in this if statement. What is the syntax for using if statement? If we have to use, then give space, then some condition. This condition followed by colon, then statements. This is the syntax, right? Suppose else also there means else we will be having, then colon, then statements. Like this, we will be having some syntax for each and every construct. Now, again you consider in detail, like if followed by condition. What is meant by condition? What can be the condition is like we can have something like a less than b, or a greater than b, or a equal to b, or a greater than or equal to b. Like this we can have, or a less than some value, a greater than some value. Like this we can have so many set of conditions. Okay, out of those, whatever we wanted to use for the given context, that we can use. Okay, now can we give anything here? Suppose if I give a plus, just a plus as the condition, is it valid? Is it valid if I specify a plus as the condition? Yes, respond now. Shall I ask once again? Yes. Shall I repeat, ma? Shall I ask the question again? In general, we will be having if condition. Let us say if condition, then statements will be there, and we can have optionally else also. Else colon, then statements. This can be statement. This can be considered as a statements one, statements block two. Like this, we can consider. Whenever condition is true, statement will be one will be executed. Otherwise, statements two will be executed. Okay, fine. Now coming to the point, the condition can be of this kind, right? A less than b, or a less than or equal to b, greater than b, greater than or equal to b. Like this, we can have several types, or we can have a greater than 5. Such kind of comparison also might be there, or we can have like 5 greater than 3. This is also can be a condition, isn't it? But always it gives true only. Of course, that is secondary. But what is the condition format? Condition format will be comparison. By using comparison operators, we can form a condition. Now the question is, if you have the condition as a plus, is it allowed or not?
No, sir. Only Boolean
No.
types are allowed, like true or false return value.
Yeah, we have to get either true or false. Okay, suppose if I give if a is equal to 3, is it allowed or not? A is equal to
No,
3.
sir. If A is equal to 3.
It is absolutely allowed, but what about this one? Is it allowed or not? That you check. Okay, just it is out of the thing, out of the context. Just as we came across this, I am saying a is equal to 3. Whether it is allowed or not, you check. Okay, later. And now coming to the point, a double equal to 3. This is used to compare two things, so it is allowed, which will return true or false. So true or false can be returned. So that such kind of combination can be used. So in general, we can use either Operands.
Excuse me, sir.
Operands in the sense. Operands in the sense.
Sir, a equals to 3 isn't
Yeah.
allowed, sir, because we are assigning the value for a. We are not checking the condition.
Yeah, intuitively you could say this answer. By checking, you tell same thing. Just you write one simple program and try to run it, whether it is allowing or not, then you come to know. Okay. In general, by seeing, it is like it is not giving true or false, so it is not allowed by seeing. But internally, whether it follows in the same way or not, that you check. Okay. Yeah. So now, how this condition can be formed? This condition can be formed is by making use of operands. Okay, like A, B, C, like this, we will be having some operands. Then operators will be having, by using these operands and operators, and of course numericals as well, we could form condition. But there will be some format which is allowed to use, like A plus is not allowed. Why? Because it is not forming any expression, so it is not allowed. A less than B, it is an expression which is resulting to the single value, so it can be considered as a condition. A greater than B, it is a condition. A equal to B, like this, these all are conditions which are in specified format. So whenever we write a simple program, we will be executing that. In order to execute that program, we compiler or interpreter will check the syntax, whether it is following, whether it is having proper syntax or not, that will be checked. Understand? Why? Because whatever the program we write, that program will be written in some programming language, like in C means we will be having the file name dot C as the extension. In Python means we will be having file dot py. In Java means dot Java. In C++ means we will be having dot cpp. Like this, for the file we will be having some certain extension. Okay, this file name we can give anything, but the extension should be same for all the files. If you write in C language, then we need to have the extension as .c. If you write in C++, you need to have .c++. Similarly, Python means .py. Okay. Now, this particular file, suppose C is there, then you will be giving to compiler. C compiler, not for any other compiler, for C compiler. Why? Because that only could able to understand what we have written inside that file, so it will convert into other format. Similarly, Python means Python interpreter will be there. For that interpreter, we will be giving this .py file. Then it could able to understand it. It will be translating that file into some other format. Okay. Now, while translating, our thing is here. Actually, we are discussing in this particular point, like what will happen at compiler end or interpreter end. That is, whenever we write a program, we will submit to the compiler or interpreter to execute, to transform, to translate, we can say. These two are translators. These two are translators only. So, to translate the given program into the required form, we will be submitting to the compiler, let us say. Now, at compiler, what will happen is, suppose if you write if A less than B, then so and so, then it has to evaluate what is this one. This is if. So how it could able to identify if is, it needs to have two letters I, and it has to follow immediately without any space. It has to follow by F, then only it will be identifying as if. Even one more thing, suppose you have written if A less than B. In the same way, you have written like this. Although here we are having I followed by F immediately without any space, but we are having additional letter called F. So it will not be identified as normal if. Understand? So similar to this, for every line or every construct, there will be some set of rules defined for every language. Set of rules defined for every language, like for if we need to have I in small, immediately followed by f in small, then it should have space, then only it is allowed. Okay, then only it will identify it as if. Then we need to have condition, in the sense what kind of condition. For condition, allowed format will be there. Okay, there can be more than one format. Like for one particular condition, we can have operand, let us say OPR, then operator, then operand again. Like this we can have, this operand can be A or B or C, like this we can have anything. Okay, this can be considered as R symbol. Okay, this is R. Like this, for operand, what are the allowed things that we will be defining. Next, for operator, what are the allowed things. Like for operator, we can have like less than or equal to, greater than. That means here we will be having R again. Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Like this, what are the allowed operators, those all we will be specifying. What are the allowed operands, those all we will be specifying. Then by using these two, we can form condition, that is operand followed by operator followed by operand. This is the condition. Okay, by using this condition, we could form syntax for if as well. That is, for if, what is the condition, what is the format, if followed by condition, isn't it? If followed by condition. What is this condition? This one. What is this operator? This one. Operand, this one. What is this operator? This one. Like this, for every language, not only for C or Python or Java or C++ or Perl or any other thing, for every language we will be having some set of rules defined in order to generate, in order to understand or to check whether the written language is, written program is correct or not, or whether programmer has followed the correct format or not. Or in other words, we can say how we have to interpret the given program. That can be decided by the compiler by checking the syntax. How it could able to check the syntax? By following these rules. Okay, these are not fixed. These will depends on the language constructs. Like in C language, we will be having if condition like this. If, then some condition, then we will be having open curly brace, closed curly brace, then we will be having here statements. Okay, in Python we will be having if, then space, condition. Then here we don't need to use curly braces, just we will be having statements. But how it could able to identify that these all statements, suppose statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, like this we are having, these all should be indented properly, then only it could able to identify, isn't it? But here in C language, there is no such kind of restriction, but we need to enclose in curly braces, so that starting from here up to this, all these statements will be part of the if condition only. Okay, if construct only. Like that, it could able to identify. But although we are having different syntax for every language, we will be having certain format for every language. For C language, this is the format. For Python, this is the format. For Java, for C++ also it is allowed, same thing. For Java also same thing. Okay, I hope Java also you might have completed. So this is familiar to you. So for every language, we will be having certain syntax. So that syntax can be identified in the what you call, can be expressed in the form of rules. Okay, rules. This is one example of such kind of rules. If should be like this, condition should be like this, operand should be like this, operator should be like this. See, by specifying by specifying the rules, what we are imposing is whatever the program we have written in specified language, that should follow same rules. That's why rule is to follow only, right? Why we will be having rules is we will be to follow only. So if you follow those rules, then it could able to identify, it could able to understand it, and it could able to translate it. That is the advantage of this having these rules. Okay, I hope you understand the intuition. Okay, as of now, what we have discussed is for every language we will be having certain rules. Those rules will be defined like this. Okay, that's it. Yeah, any doubts so far?
No, sir.
Yeah. And now let us consider simple thing, that is to identify if only. I will be showing simple example, like we will be having states. States will be denoted as a circles. We will be having states. States are denoted by circles. And in these states, we can have any number of states in general. Okay, in this example, I am considering only 3 states. Okay, if we have n states, out of those n states, we will be having one state as the starting state, start state or initial state. One state as the initial state. So all these 3 are states only. Out of these, one we can identify as a starting state or initial state. How we can differentiate initial state from remaining states is we will be having this kind of symbol. Whenever we have this kind of symbol, this arrow, then we can say this as the initial state or starting state. Okay. Next, one state is initial state, and remaining n minus 1 states, we can have as normal states. Out of these n minus 1 or out of these n, again we can identify some states as final states. Try to understand. We are assuming that we are having n states. How states will be denoted? By circles. Out of these n states, one state we will be identifying as initial state or starting state. Okay, only one state, one starting state we should have. Okay, anytime we should have only one starting state. And coming to the point here, out of these n, we can consider some states as final states. By this statement, what you can understand is how many final states we can have. Can we have one final state? Can we have one final state? From this statement you tell.
Sir, could you repeat once?
Yeah. See, we will be having states. What is meant by state? That you will come to know by saying one example. As of now, you remember that these circles are states, and we are assuming that n states are there. N states are there. Out of those n states, we will be having exactly one initial state. Exactly one initial state. How we can differentiate that state from other states is by using this arrow. Okay, this is about initial state or starting state. Next, out of the available n states, some states we will be identifying as final states. Final states we will denote by using double circle. This is for state, final state in the sense we will be denoting like this. Okay. How we can differentiate normal state and starting state? By using this arrow. How we can differentiate normal state and final state? By using this one. When we have double circle, then we can identify this one as the final state. Now, some states out of these n, some states we can identify as final states. So we can have two final states. Yeah, by the statement you can understand. Two final states we can have. 3 final states we can have. 4 final states we can have. So on, even we can have n final states as well. That means whatever the states we have, all those can be final states as well. Okay, depending upon the requirement we will be considering. Okay, and we can have single final state as well. That means we can have any number of final states. That is the conclusion. So now out of these 3, one we can identify as initial state. For a better understanding, for a simple understanding, I am assuming that only one final state as of now. Only one final state. Next, whenever we read one input symbol, let us say A, then we will be having a transition from one state to another state. By reading one input symbol, we will be having a transition from one state to another state. Try to understand. I will show you the diagram, then I will draw the diagram, then you will understand properly. See, we will be at initial state, okay? At the beginning, we will be at initial state here. Now, whenever we read an input symbol, then there is a transition from this state to another state, okay? And by reading which symbol we are going from this state to this state, by reading which symbol, A, that we will be denoting here. Next, now we are at this particular state. State is nothing but present position of cursor. You can assume like that. Present position of the cursor. Let us consider AB is the input. While reading this particular string, we have to start from the initial state. How many initial states we can have in this one? How many initial states? Only one initial state we can have. So from here only we have to start always. So by reading A, we can reach this particular one. Let us name these as 1, 2, 3 like this, or Q1, Q2, Q3. Okay, what is this state we will be denoting in general as Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3 like this. So same notation. There are 3 states. From here to here there is a transition, that is A, and from here to here there is a transition with the input symbol B. Now by reading A, we can reach from Q1 to Q2. Next, by reading another next symbol B, we can reach from Q2 to Q3. Then we have reached final state. So this particular string is accepted. This particular string is accepted by this machine. Let us assume this as a machine. We are having 3 states. Okay, try to understand. 3 states we are having. From first state Q1 to Q2, we need one input symbol, that is A. Whenever we have A, then we can have transition from Q1 to Q2. Whenever we read another input, that is B, from Q2 to Q3 we can go. So AB means we could able to reach final state. Starting from the initial state, if you reach the final state, that particular string is accepted. Now let us try to check whether A is accepted by this machine or not. If I give A, whether it is accepted or not. If I give BA, whether it is accepted or not, let us try to check. If we have to, as per our understanding, we have to start from the initial state. What is the initial state here? Q1. What is the input symbol here? A. So from Q1 to Q1 on A, we will be reaching Q2, isn't it? So we will be at Q2. Now what is the input? Next input? That's it. A is the input. So where we ended at Q2. Is Q2 final state? Is Q2 final state?
No, sir.
No. So this particular A is not accepted. Okay, I will clear. I will make you clear. Don't worry. Just try to understand in abstract way. Then formally we will see. Yeah. So now you consider this particular string, whether this string is accepted by this machine or not. Again, we have to start from Q1. Then Q1 on B, are we having any such kind of transition? Q1 on B?
No, sir.
No. So we will end here only. We could not able to process entire string first of all. So if you cannot able to process the entire string, then it is rejected. This particular string is rejected. A here, if you understand here, A we could able to process completely, but we are not ending at final state. So A is also rejected. Why A is rejected? Because at the end of the input, we haven't reached final state. Why BA is rejected? We could not able to process that entire input. That is, these are the 2 types of problems. Here we are rejecting, here also we are rejecting. And now you consider another machine, like we are having 4 states. Out of these, this one is the final state, this one is the initial state. And we are having like this. Okay. Now You tell whether it is accepted or not. AB, whether it is accepted or not. We have to start from which state? This is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. We have to start from which state?
Q1.
Q1. So Q1 on A, we will read one input symbol, that is A. Then we will reach Q2. Next, what is the input symbol? B. Q2 on B, we will be reaching Q3. Okay. Now we are at Q3. What is the next input symbol? A. Q3 on A is what? Q3 on A is Q2. So we will come back to here Q2. Next, Q2 on B. Q2 on B will be Q2 on B, Q3. So we could able to read entire input where we are ending at Q3. Is it final state?
No, sir.
No. So is this string accepted or not?
Not accepted.
It is not accepted. Next, you consider AB, ABB. And now
Yes, sir. Accepted.
you consider ABB. Now
Yes, sir. Accepted.
ABB, straight Q1 to Q2, Q2 to Q3, Q3 to Q4. Like this, you can consider ABA, BAB. Now, starting from A, we will reach, that is Q1 to Q2, we will go. So this is done.
Yes, sir.
Next,
Accepted.
BA, that means this cycle we will be at Q2. Next, BA, again we will be at Q2. Next, B means we will go to Q3, then Q3 to Q4 on B. So it is accepted. It is accepted. It is accepted. So like this, we could able to determine whether the given string is accepted or not, whether given string is allowed or not. We could able to determine by using this machine. Okay, what is this machine and all? We will see formally in the next class with the definition. You need not worry. Just as of now, what you have to understand is here we will be having some states. From every state, we will be having some transition by reading one input symbol. Okay, what are the input symbols here? A and B are the input symbols here. So by reading those input symbols, we will be reaching to another state. So given a string, by reading one input symbol, we will be we will be considering the transition. If you end the input symbol, that is by end of the input, if you reach the final state, then that string is accepted, otherwise it is rejected. Like this, we can understand this particular machine functionality. Okay, now come back to our original discussion, that is how we can check syntax. That is that was the original discussion, right? If has to be present like this, we will start from one state. Then what is the first symbol that we need to have? I. Then we will reach this state. Then F. Okay, it should not have any other things. So let us end with F itself. Then it is accepted if is allowed. If we have IFF, is it allowed here? IFF?
No, sir.
No. Like this, it is not complete thing, but to get the idea, I am saying whenever we have language, to check the syntax of that particular language, we will be having this kind of machine. Okay, in this machine we will be having certain states and input symbols. Okay, these are the input symbols. This is one, like this. What are the allowed input symbols that we have? Those all we will be having, and one initial state we will be having, one final state we will be having, and of course now only I can define this formal definition as well. The machine, I will be denoting the machine as M. Machine will contain certain states. Let us consider states as Q1, Q2, so on, Qn number of states. Okay, Qn number of states. We will be having machine with number of states. Afterwards, we will be having one initial state, isn't it? Initial state will be, how many initial states we can have in the machine as per our discussion?
Only one.
Only one. Okay. For uniformity, I am considering here Q naught and this one as Q1. Why? Because in most of the textbooks they will be referring Q naught as the starting state. So Q naught is the initial state. Next, how many final states we can have? Yeah, how many final states we can have?
One.
One or two or three? We have discussed how many final states. Shall I show? Where is it? Oh, I interrupted. Sorry. Yeah, how many final states we can have?
1, 2, 3. Anything.
Any number we can have. So we will be denoting capital F. Capital F in the sense set of final states. Okay, this F contains a set of final states. If you have only one final state, that will be part of the set, singleton set. That means one element, what you call set with a single element, we call it a singleton set. So F contains all the final states. We can have two final states, we can have three final states, we can have n final states as well. So those all final states will be part of F. Next, one more thing, that is input alphabet, and we denote with sigma. Input alphabet in the sense, earlier we have discussed this one, right? Yeah. Here, what are the input symbols that we have considered? A we have considered, B we have considered, right? So input alphabet is A comma B. Sigma is equal to A comma B. Or I will say in other words, like you are writing some text. Okay, let us assume you are writing some text. You will be using some letters here. Okay, some letters here. Just a random text I am writing. Here, this particular one is in English, isn't it? This is in English. Okay, don't say it is not in English. It is also in English. That's what our assumption. Now, what are the alphabets that we have in this? What are the alphabets that we have? A to Z. Okay, this is the alphabet. This alphabet we denote with sigma. Whenever we write English, whenever we consider the language as English, then alphabet will be A to Z. Whenever we consider some other language, the alphabet will be changed. Whenever you consider binary, what will be the alphabet? Alphabet will contain set of allowed input symbols. That is sigma is equal to, sigma is equal to 0, 1. Whenever we consider binary, whenever you consider a decimal, then
0 to 9.
0 to
9.
0 to 9. Like this set of symbols which are allowed for the given language, that is nothing but sigma, that is called alphabet. Alphabet that will contain all the letters, symbols which we can use within that particular language will be part of alphabet. Okay, all the letters, symbols, even digits which are allowed in that particular language, those all will be part of alphabet. In whatever the English language that we are using in nowadays, we will be having the set of symbols like this. Alphabet will contain A to Z, isn't it? A to Z. Not only A to Z, we can use the numbers as well, right? Within this, so 0 to 9 we can have. Not only these, we can have this kind of thing. We can have this kind of thing. Parentheses we can use. Braces we can use. So these all are allowed alphabets, isn't it? These all are allowed alphabets. We can have square bracket, closed square bracket. So these all will be part of alphabet. So alphabet will contain what? Letters, symbols, digits. which are allowed in one particular language. We call it as alphabet for that particular language. Okay. So now here we will be having one thing is in this particular machine called M, we will be having set of states, starting initial state, set of final states, initial state and set of final states. That means only one initial state we can have, any number of final states we can have. Next, sigma is the input alphabet, and we will be having one thing called delta. What is this delta? I will tell you. Just delta is called as a transition function. Delta is called transition function. What is meant by transition? That you can understand from this actually. Yeah, this one you consider. This is a machine. Okay, in this particular machine, M. Now, first one is what? Set of states. How many states we are having? 4 states. So Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Like this, 4 states we are having. Next, what is the starting state?
Q1.
Q1. What is the final state? Final state F is equal to
Q4.
Q4. Like this. F is the final set of final states. So we have to denote like this. Next, what about input alphabet? Input alphabet sigma is equal to A comma B, isn't it? In this particular one, A comma B are the input symbols. Next, we will be having delta, that is transition function. Sorry, this is like this. Yeah, transition function. Now, if I give this this one to you, can you able to generate this diagram, this machine? If I give this specification, that is all the states. So 4 states are there. So you can put what you can put. 4 states are there means you can put. Yes. 4 states are there. So you can put 4 states like this. And you know what is the initial state. So let us consider Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. And you know that Q1 is the initial state. So you can put like this. Next, F is equal to Q4. That means Q4 is the final state. That also you are coming to know. Next, A comma B. That is input alphabets are A comma B. That is fine. Next, delta we don't know. So now can you able to produce this particular one from this?
No, sir.
No. What else is required? In addition to this, what else is required is transitions. Transitions in the sense, by reading which input symbol, we can transit from one state to another state. Like by reading an input symbol called A, we can transit from Q1 to Q2. Okay, this should be known. Then only we could able to draw. So how we can indicate is transition of, that is delta of Q1 on A. Q1 on A. We will be reaching which state? Q2. Similarly, delta of Q2 on A, Q2 on B. Q2 on B is Q3. Delta of Q3 on A is Q2. Next, delta of Q3 on B is Q4. Are there any other? In this one you see and tell. How many transitions we are having? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 transitions. 1, 2, 3, 4 we have got. So it's enough. Now, in addition to these things, that is the number of states, what is the initial state, what is the end state, that is final state, and what are the input alphabet, then if you could able to give this one, that is transition function, then we could able to build the machine. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So by seeing this, we could able to build like Q1 on A, it is A. Okay, fine. Q2 on B. Q2 on B will be Q3. Like this we will be drawing Q3 on A is Q2, so Q3 on A is Q2, next Q3 on B is Q4. Like this we can draw the machine, we can build the machine from this definition. So in the machine definition will contain set of states. What is the initial state, what is the final state, input alphabet, then transition function. Delta is called transition function. Like this 5 components we will be having in the machine definition, and this particular machine we call it as a finite state machine. Finite state machine. Okay, FSM in short, or finite state machine. Here we will be having set of states, initial state, final state, then input alphabet, transition function. Based upon these 5 components we could able to build the machine, and we can say this can be used to check the syntax orally. You can assume, you can relate now. I think with this introduction you could able to relate why we require these states, why we are having transitions, all these things. I hope you understand. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now let us consider a simple example. I will run this. Yeah. We are having some states like this. Yeah. Now this is Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5. So total how many states we are having? How we can define M? M is nothing but the machine definition. So first one we will be denoting how many states. So how many states are there in this?
6.
6 states. So Q1 to Q0 to Q5. These are the states. Next, what is the initial state? Initial state we will denote with this, and final state you can consider this one. This one as the final state. Okay, it need not be Q5. That's what you have to understand. Final state need not be Q5. It can be anything, and it need not be Q3 also. It can be Q3 and Q5 as well. It can be Q3 and Q4 as well. It can be, try to understand this point, it can be Q0 itself. That means initial state and final state will also be the same state itself. Okay, that is also allowed. According to the definition also it supports, right? So we can have one initial state, but any number of final states. Okay, that final state can be anything. Either it can be initial state or other than initial state as well, or combination as well. So Q0 to Q5 are the states. Next, initial state is Q0. Final state is Q3 is the final state. Next, sigma. What is sigma? Input symbol, input alphabet. Sigma is equal to A comma B. Next, delta. Delta means that transition function. That is, we have to write like all the transitions. Q0 comma A is Q1. Q1 comma delta of Q1 comma A is Q0. Next, delta of Q1 comma B is Q2. Like this, how many transitions we will be getting? How many edges we are, how many transitions we are having in this, that you can count 3, then 7, 9 transitions we are having. So those can be defined, that is delta of one state, delta, the format will be qi comma input alphabet, let us say input alphabet is equal to qj. Like this we will be having transition function definition. So this is an example. Now you can determine whether one particular string is accepted or not, like ABA, BAB. Now is it accepted or not? Now first one accepted or not? Check. Yes. ABA. Start. We have to start from initial state. Yeah, are you there, ma?
No, sir, it's not accepted.
It's not. We have to start from initial state. So there is only one way. A we can go. Then from Q1 to Q1 on B. Q1 on B is Q2 only. Q2 on A, that is Q3. Then afterwards Q3 on we are here. Q3 on B. Q3 on B. There is no transition. So we cannot complete. We cannot read the complete string. So it is not accepted. It is rejected. Next ABA.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is accepted. Next AB.
No, sir.
AB no. Next triple A BA. Triple A BA.
Yes, sir.
Yes. How it will accept?
Q0 to Q1, Q1 to Q0, Q0 to Q1, Q1 to Q2, then Q2 to Q3.
Q2 Q3. So it is accepted. So by given transitions, if you substitute like Q0 on given input symbol, if you reach the next state like that, finally if you complete the entire input string and if you reach the final state, then we can say that particular string is accepted. Okay, based upon this, not only this, as we have seen if also, we will be having certain kind of machine definition. So based upon that machine definition only, we can reach the final state or we may not reach the final state. If it is reaching the final state, then we can say it is following the proper syntax. If it is not reaching the final state, then it is not following the proper syntax. And why there is one question that why we are having this one, why we are having final set of final states, why we need to have more than one final state? That's the question. More than one final state, in the sense I will give one simple example, like if A greater than B, then we will be printing something, then we will print some other thing here over like that. Okay, we will print A is greater than B whenever this condition is true. Is this correct syntax or not? Yes or no?
There should be else, sir.
Without else we should not put, only if. Without else. Without else we can have if. If condition is true, then we will execute, otherwise we will not bother. Okay, if condition is true, we will execute something. If condition is false, we have to execute some other thing, means then we will be using if else. So this else part is optional, not on in C or C++ or Java or in Python, in any language, this else part is optional. You need not have else if you have if. Okay, that is relating to the programming language. Anyway, here you see this is valid and this is also valid. Where it is, this particular one is ending after else. Where this particular one is ending, just with if only it is ending. And you can have like this also, right? If one condition, that is C1, then statement 1. Else if condition 2, then statement 2. Then else statement 3. Like this you can have. Now this is also valid, yes or no? If condition 1, statement 1, else if condition 2, statement 2, else if else statement 3. Here it is ending at S3, so it is also allowed. And even here also else is optional, you can end here itself. So even the starting point is same, if but we are ending at different places, yes or no? All are valid only. Here we are starting and we are ending here after checking after checking two conditions, condition 1, condition 2, we are ending. This is also valid. After checking one condition and else part we are writing, here we are ending, this is also valid. After checking one condition, we are ending here itself, this is also valid. That means we are starting at one place, but we are ending at several places. That's why this kind of things we can relate with having multiple final states. Understand? Yes? Not convinced?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you want, I will try to give other example. Yes, do you want?
No, sir. Clear.
Okay. This is allowed, ma. Without else also we can write if. Okay. So in the next class we will continue from here. As of now, what you have to understand is the machine we will define in such a way that 5 components we will be having. One is a set of states, initial state, a set of final states, input alphabet, then transition function. This is the machine definition. This machine we call it as finite state machine, FSM. Okay, from here we will continue in the next class. Okay, thank you, ma. Please enter your roll number. Okay.